I want to show you a technique that you may not have seen for removing distracting objects. Frequently, people just use cloning, the cloning tool, to remove distracting objects. By what I mean by distracting objects, this is an example of a home I shot many years ago, and it turns out I went out to reshoot the home, and the owners weren't home, and she had been working on the yard and left some things out here, left the garbage can here. And while one could argue that it's not that difficult to take the garbage can and move it down the street away, out of the way, same way with the wheelbarrow and the tree, there will be some times where it could be a car, it could be objects you just don't want to move. It's just easier to take them out. So I want to show you this technique. So for example, this is the starting photograph that I took, and of course the truck and this thing here and this thing over here was done just by cropping, and the end photo is this photo where all this stuff is gone, the garbage can is gone, and you'll notice these drip marks up here, which is, I don't know, they're actually, it's just wet. It's not a big deal, but I just like to take things that distract out of the image, so they don't distract. So this is a Photoshop version, so I can show you how this technique works. The way it works is, if I go through here and I turn off these layers, you'll be able to see what I did. Is you take sections of things that are, so for example, this section behind the tree would be very difficult or impossible to clone, believably. But if I just took this section here out of the door, or you could also use, I can't remember which one I used, whether it was one of these over here. The idea is that this is just a repeating pattern. You can slide that in, and let me see if I can find the right one there. You put it over there, and you just cover up what you want to cover up. And there's a case here where, yeah, and so you just take, you don't even have to take, I think on this one I even took a section of this and moved it over to get rid of this, because if you clone it, it very frequently looks kind of messy. And so again, here I'm just taking pieces of the, or areas of the cement that are smooth and continuous, and just moving them over and covering up. Now you'll notice in the final version, the fire plug is gone. Actually, my wife and I have a difference of opinion. She doesn't mind taking fire plugs out. I think those kinds of things you should leave in, although truly aesthetically it distracts from the image and it looks better without it. Anyway, you can see from this example how I completely remove this by just taking sections. You do the same thing with the garbage cans. You take a section here of the side, move it down over the garbage can. You take a section here of the brick, move it down, and you end up with something like this that you really have to look at it super close. And I can zoom in here to show you even very close. It looks really, you can pick up on this section, but you have to get, and you can notice a little bit of irregularity here, and the shadow is actually left, if you're really paying attention, from the, I could have taken this section and moved it down and got rid of this shadow. But anyway, you see the what you do, and basically what you're doing here is you take the polygonal lasso tool, say if you want to take this section, and you take it and just go around it something like this, and then you copy it and then you paste it. When you paste it in, then you can move it around and go put it someplace else. And you have to be careful that the shadows are the same, but I think you'll agree that this area is, you have to zoom in on very closely to notice that this is tampered with. So that's how you do it.